Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of the Johngy podcast. I, of course, am Johngy of johngysbeat.com. And with me, who else? Tommy else. How are you, Tommy?
So close. So close.
I'll take close. I'll take it.
It's close. You got to throw in the but. Close. Who else but Tommy else?
Well, I'm getting there.
Who else, Tommy? Who else, Tommy else works? But it's the but kind of gives it a little extra oomph, but that's okay. I'll take it. Well,
I'll take it close. Listen, man, I'm really excited about today's show.
Yes, this is an exciting show. We've got a guest on. It's been a while since we've had a guest on the show, and we've got a great guest on this show. She currently holds 2 women's championships in 2 different companies. She's a pro wrestler. She's from Kentucky. May have heard of her. Her name is Billie Starkz.
She's the women's champ she's the champ at Second Wrestling, a new company, first ever champ. She beat 2 guys in a tournament to get there, and she's also the current reigning Girl Fight Wrestling champ with our old friend Ponda.
Yeah, she not only beat 2 guys, but she also beat another girl earlier in the night too. So she did have to do triple duty that show. So.
Well, she beat the 2 guys in one show. She beat the Blair in a previous show.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
But still,
yeah,
an amazing accomplishment nonetheless.
Yeah. So we're not going to spend any time wasting talking, you and I, and we're going to get right into the interview here. So without further ado, our interview with Billie Starkz.
For the John GRL's podcast, we are very excited to welcome into our studios Billie Starkz. How are you, Billie?
Welcome to the show, Billie.
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, thanks for being on. We want to jump right into it because we know there's a lot to cover with you. You're one busy young woman. You recently won the Second Wrestling title, not the women's title. You won the title. And you had to go through 2 guys. You had to go through Kylie Jackson and Eric Cannon to do it.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that night. I was there. I witnessed it. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I originally faced Blair Onyx in the opening, and then for the semifinals I faced Riley Jackson, and then the finals I faced Eric Cannon. And then Second Wrestling is a new promotion that just started up, and I love the energy they have going on. They run in a Jewish community center, and I feel like it's doing really great things for that community and opening their eyes to wrestling.
That's now, cool. Do you know, is there going to be a women's division at some point there? Do you know?
I think there already is. Like, he's brought in Blair Onyx, myself, and also Lady Luck. I'm sorry, I don't know why I blanked on her last name for a second. My brain was like, oh.
And I know I saw and I'm screwing up his name. The other guy that Darren Corbin. I'm sorry, Darren Corbin appears to be your next challenger. He's a big dude. So you fought those 2 guys.
The thumbs down.
now you're going to fight him. How is it like you're fighting all these different styles and all these bigger men? You kind of remind me of Medusa, actually, like, because you're able to beat these guys.
I just see it as another like wrestling match at the end of the day. It doesn't matter like the gender, male or female. It's just another component, another challenge to overcome.
But you're able to go from technical wrestling to brawling. I saw you brawling on the outside of the ring. Then I see you in the ring just doing major technical wrestling moves. Is that hard, shifting back and forth depending on your opponent?
Not really. I feel like it depends on like what I need for the match. That like changes my style. I feel like I've been very lucky that I've been able to learn so many different styles. So I can really go against anybody. I have stronger areas than others.
Yeah, well, as anyone does, and the thing is when when you're in practice, I mean, you're wrestling guys all the time, in training and stuff. So it's not, completely foreign idea for you to be in there, working guys, but to put on a really good story and get that crowd behind you and have them pulling for you and believe you as the champion, that speaks a lot about you.
Oh yeah, the crowd was definitely behind you
Yeah.
at Flood Zone. They were the kids were going crazy for you, and the line you had after the show for to meet and greet was insane. You're definitely way over on that company. Can you tell us a little bit about? I know you trained under Wyndham and under Steamboat. Can you tell us a little bit about training under those guys?
So I've only done like their seminars and stuff like that. And what I learned from them is I've been very lucky that like I've been able to participate in their seminars. They don't happen very often. They're both very knowledgeable, and they break down wrestling in a certain way. And you get like an old school aspect. And I'm very new school. I'm very like with this age of wrestling, but there's still so much we can learn from the past.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, one of the benefits of working shows when they bring, stars and everything on there is getting to pick their brain, and when they bring legends on cards, and some are more giving than others, but I mean, occasionally you'll get somebody who hangs out at the, around the ring, the whole day, and you can bounce ideas off of them and ask them questions, and it's such a valuable thing. And I tell people all the time, like, if you have that opportunity to talk to somebody who's been there before you, ask, learn from them, take that moment and get whatever you can from it.
Yes, sir.
Billy, oh, sorry. Phil, you're the girl fight champion, or girl fight wrestling champion. Now, I know they've taken some time off for the pandemic, but coming back now, it's going to be coming back strong. You're taking on all comers. How is that? I mean, that's a little bit more the hardcore matches. How is that for you?
It was a very I'm so excited for Girl Fight to come back. It's like you said, it's been a while, and the matches that I've been able to have there also have been very challenging. And I feel like it has made me grow as a wrestler so much more. And then also being able to defend this title and be such how can I say this, like a high position on the card.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It makes me feel like, oh, I'm starting to like grow in value. I'm starting to grow as a performer. Mm-hmm. And it really Girl Fight helped me realize that a lot quicker.
We're both pretty good buddies with good old Pondo, and
my favorite. I'm so excited about everything he's been doing with his weight loss and like his challenge with Ricky.
It's amazing. He's a good dude.
Yeah, we've both spent a lot of time with good old Madman, and I know him enough that like for if you're getting the title put on you there, that's a lot of respect coming from him there too. So now, how old are you?
I am currently 17 at the time of this recording.
Okay, and that's what I thought. And you started what at like 12 or something like that? I
started training at 13.
13. Wow. Okay. Let me ask you this. I've followed you, and I know that you grew up watching Raw and SmackDown and NXT and going to indie shows and things like that. Who were some female wrestlers that were inspirational to you?
Definitely when I was first introduced to wrestling, it was definitely Bailey. I got like a lot from her. And then once I started going to like independent wrestling, I grew to like love Joshi wrestling, just Japanese women wrestling.
Yeah.
And like Miami, I have the stutter, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Yeah, no.
Miami Toyota. I'm sorry, I'm struggling. And then okay. Millie McKenzie, who's a European wrestler who got signed to NXT UK recently. I just fell in love with all these different styles these women were presenting, but also like their energy in the ring. They have such a good presence, and like you can see how the crowd is truly invested in everything they do.
Sure. Yeah, I know you got to work with Kylie Ray at one point, and she's got that, you know, when she comes out, I mean, you know, she's got that energy and can like light up the room and stuff. And it's funny because she and I trained, like started training at the same time with one another, and we were in the same class together. And so I remember her like on the second rope learning to take bumps and everything. And now, you know, seeing her do all the stuff she does now, it's been really cool to see that evolution, and then see people like yourself who are getting to work with her, and it's like they're learning from her, and they're, you know, getting to have good matches and stuff. So it's, you know, I've had a cool perspective of getting to see that sort of thing. So you talked about UK wrestler and Japanese style and everything. You have not worked outside the country yet, right?
I have not. I'm working on getting my passport, so that can happen
Right.
hopefully soon.
So, I mean, there's obviously a million great places to go and wrestle. Germany, Japan, Canada, Mexico. I mean, is there any one place? I know you've said before that you definitely want to do some traveling and see the world and everything, but is there any particular places that you really would like to go?
I just my like number one thing, if I could just choose one place to travel to, it'd be Japan. I
Yeah.
take Japanese in school. I'm on my
Oh,
third
yeah.
year of it.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
That's
That's
impressive.
intense. Yeah.
Yes.
It'll serve you well,
And
though. I'll tell you, if you do get over there, it certainly helps to know how to speak the
I was
language.
like, I need a little something if I ever plan on going over there.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. I mean, they've got guys who translate and help you out and everything when you go wrestle over there. But if you
Mhm.
can, you know, at least make heads or tails of basic stuff, that'll be invaluable to you. So that's pretty cool. Um, you still painting? I know that you enjoy painting, right?
Yes, I very much do. The last project I got done was like I painted my door, but I haven't painted the other side yet, and I decided to do checkers for some reason.
Yeah.
And like it's taking me forever. And then I was going to do like a butterfly on top of it,
Mhm.
and I haven't finished it.
Now, will we see that on social media when it's done? Will we
Oh,
see the
of
finished
course,
product?
gotta post the content.
Yeah.
Billy, when you're in the ring, this has been your dream. Obviously, you've wanted to be a wrestler for a while. When you're in the ring, I know you're focusing on the actual match, but do you ever take time to kind of just look in the crowd and like soak it in and realize that you're actually doing this?
All the time. So like a lot of people say like they zone out when they're in the ring. They're only in like the ropes and like can't realize anything that's going on outside of it. But I feel like I'm in the complete opposite. I kind of like ignore the wrestling sometimes and I'm only paying attention to other people's reactions. And people think I'm crazy when I say that, but I was like, I just hear so much noise and I feel
Yeah.
like there's not much going on in the ring, but that's what everybody else is paying attention to.
Yeah, it is funny. It's like you feel like you're in another room and like everybody's partying over somewhere else or something like that. It's yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah. Um it's good that you're able to do that. I'm someone who, if I'm working in a match or whatever, I have to focus. I have to try to block out, you know, the other people, you know, as much as I can, focus on the match and everything. And but it's so great if you can soak up, you know, the moment and appreciate like, hey, you know, I'm on the stage here, I'm wrestling, I'm doing this, you know. And it's such a cool thing that a lot of people don't really get to experience until they reflect back on it, you know. But if you can feel that in the moment, it makes those moments so much more memorable ultimately, and more important to you. So that's great that your brain can work that way, you know.
I think it's honestly like it took me a while to get there, but I think it's because I'm still in school and I'm very like I can do this at the same time while I do these a million other things.
Yeah.
Just because that's how my brain's set up. But I feel like if I wasn't in school while doing wrestling, there'd be like some things I would find a lot harder. Like I feel like my memory would be so worse in wrestling than if
Sure.
I wasn't in school. Because a
Yeah.
lot of people talk about how like they struggle with like trying to remember matches and doing stuff like that. And I was like, oh, it just feels like normal. It's like homework. I'm
It's like
studying
doing
for the
homework,
test
right?
tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I'm
Well-
one of those. I'm one of those people. My memory is just terrible. But you know, it's not as I'm not being kept sharp by being in school every day either. So that's a good point though, and it's good that you're able to recognize that that's what's keeping you sharp. You know.
Well, and speaking of school, what do your schoolmates, what do your friends in school think about your career?
A lot of them are very like supportive, and they recently started to come into like more shows. And they watch a bunch of my stuff. If anything gets posted to YouTube, they immediately are watching it.
Yeah.
Or they'll like hang out with me in class and be like, "Oh, let's watch the match. We're not doing anything."
Yeah.
Um, and it's very interesting because like for a long time I kind of like people knew, but I wasn't talking about it. And then during like my freshman year of like high school, I had to talk about it because I came to school like covered in bruises, and my teacher pulled me out to the
Yeah.
hallway and
Are
was
you,
like,
is everything okay at
home?
home? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I was confused. I was like, am I in trouble? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
And she was like, you're just always covered in bruises. And I was like, oh, I have to explain I'm a wrestler, so she doesn't call CPS on my mother.
Right. Yeah.
Did you bring your 2 belts to school then to show everybody?
I just started showing like the YouTube videos, and I took like a career options class, and they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, oh, I want to be a professional wrestler. And they're like, well, how do you get into that? And I was like, I'm already into it.
I'm already
Here's, like,
doing
my
it.
resume.
Yeah.
This is how much I'm getting paid, this and that. And she's like, what about financing and supporting your life? And I was like, I can make it work out.
Yeah. It's
Well,
a
yeah,
fly
you're
by the
definitely on
seat
your
of your,
way.
yeah, you fly by the seat of your pants with money in pro wrestling, you know, but it can be done, you know. And I think for most people in wrestling, they as long as they can make a living and support themselves doing wrestling, they're happy, you know. It's just if you don't have to get a real job, so to speak, and you can just be a wrestler, that's good enough for most of us. So
And you're definitely on your way. I mean, I've seen your matches, Tommy. We watched them on YouTube. I've seen you in person. The fans, you got a huge fan following. The crowd again was crazy at Second City. I can't wait to see you there again. Well, I'll definitely be in the crowd again. I'll drag Tommy out there too as well.
well, he doesn't have to drag me.
He said, you're not getting a choice, Tommy.
Yeah, I would go either way. The only reason I get dragged is because I just don't want to be seen in public with this guy. So, you know, otherwise, more than happy to come see you though. So,
yeah, I think that pretty much covers it, Billy. Unless, please tell everybody where they could find you online or in person.
Yeah, please.
So, all of my social media is at Billie Starkz, BILLIE, and then Starkz is STARKZ. And if you want to know any of my upcoming shows, they're posted on Twitter and Instagram. I try to keep everybody updated. Yep. And this weekend I'm going to be in Indianapolis for HCW, and then I also am going to be in the New Jersey area for Chad's birthday show, which is happening at the H2O Center.
All right. Very good.
And I know second wrestling. I talked to the Reverend Fine there. He said or Rabbi Fine, I should say. He definitely. There's a big announcement coming soon. We're going to be talking about their next show. I'm sure you'll be defending your title on that. Can't wait to see that. You might already know that, but us fans, we don't know that
Gotta
yet.
keep the secrets. I can't tell you guys everything.
That's
well,
okay.
no, but
it's okay.
We have a feeling you're going to be defending your title on whatever show that is. And we also support the Billie Starkz brand. Love the shirts and hope to see more of that.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for being here with us. We really appreciate it. It was a pleasure to meet you, and we wish you the best. And I have a feeling that you've got a pretty bright future ahead of you in the business. And all I can say is have as much fun with it as you can. Enjoy it and live it up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Billy. Keep up the good
Billy.
work. We'll be following you.
Thanks a
lot, Have a great
Billy.
day, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Billie Starkz. How about that? 17 years old. She paints. She's in high school still. Wrestling, holds 2 titles.
Amazing.
I mean, that's quite a. She's been wrestling since she was 13. I mean, it's an impressive resume, and she certainly has a very big following. Fans are just loving her and eating it up, and you know, you can see she's got a lot of personality. She's got a great smile and laugh, and you know, she's very outgoing. So you know, she's got the determination, she's got the charisma, and I feel like she's got all the ingredients she needs to do well in the business. So
You know, Tommy, John Casper, the author, who's another good friend of Pondo, he's been big. He's been high on Billie for a long time. He's always told me about Billie. And I never saw her in person, and I finally got to see her at Second Wrestling. And I'm telling you, I was majorly impressed. She's not a huge girl. She's not a huge young woman, but
No,
you know,
no.
she's muscular. She's solid. There's no question. She's tough.
Mhm.
But you know, there's some women that wrestle and they'll wrestle men, and it's not quite believable. She is totally believable. She beat those guys. She beat them in the ring with technical wrestling. She beat them out of the ring with brawling. She was high flying. She is like the total package. Forget Lex Luger. She's like the total package of wrestling. And then after the show, the amount of kids that were just dying to meet her, and
Yeah.
a couple of big kids like myself, you know, we had to push the little guys out of the way because we wanted to meet Billie too. And she's fabulous with the fans. I mean, you know, she had the 8x10. She's got the shirt. She knows how to do every aspect of wrestling, and she's got a huge future. And I'm so excited that we got to interview her.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things I liked what she was saying was that, you know, how because she's in school, her memory is sharp because she's used to having to remember things for tests and quizzes and all that stuff. You know, it's homework. You know, and that's something a lot of wrestlers do struggle with is you know, trying to remember, you know, how matches are laid out or whatever. But the fact that she is able to do that and then still enjoy the moment and what's going on in the ring, if she can do that now at 17, she'll be able to do that the rest of her career. You know, there's people who it takes their career to get to that point, and she's already there. So that muscle memory is just going to continue to develop as she goes. So to have so much under her belt already, and just to have such a, you know, at only 17, I mean, you know, the sky is the limit because it's just going to keep building on top of that from there. So she's definitely one to watch for, and I feel pretty certain that as long as she wants to do it, she can do this for as long as she feels like it. So
well, she's been wanting to do it for several years. I don't see her slowing down.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was the first time I saw her in person, and I was impressed. And you know, I mean, I've been to hundreds of wrestling matches,
sure,
as have you. And I'm not critical of wrestlers. I appreciate everything they do, but she stood out.
But you can,
she was
yeah,
impressive
exactly.
from bell to bell.
Right. No, there's, you know, you see a lot of wrestlers, but you know, it's when somebody stands out and you're like, whoa,
yeah,
that's when you're really like, okay, that person has got it. They get it, you know, and they're the ones who are going to have, you know, the best chance of making it in the business. So, like I said, I definitely think she's going to be someone whose name we're just going to hear more and more of as time goes on.
Wow, I agree with you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we agree on occasion, right?
Some things, well, there's some things that they're indisputable. So, you know,
well put, my friend, for once.
So there you go. All right, buddy. Well, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to get an interview in. You know, maybe if you you know, can do your job and pull some more strings and reach out to people, we can maybe get a few more big names like Billie Starkz on the show. I don't know.
Let us remind the folks, though, that you are the wrestler. You were in locker rooms. You drove wrestlers to and from, set up matches. We're the bookmaker. You were the face of our pro, whether you liked it or not. Yet I'm the one that brought in the name.
With that, I'd like to say thanks to everybody for listening, watching the episode today. If you are looking to get in touch with us, John, where can they find you on the socials?
They could find me at Johngy's Beat everywhere. And how about you, Tommy?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at Tommy_else. Until next time, I have been who else but Tommy Else. With me, as always, is the man on the beat from johngysbeat.com.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the pause there. I thought that was your big pause.
I'm giving you a chance here to say goodbye, man.
All right. Johngy of johngysbeat.com. And before we go, really a big thank you to Billie Starkz.
Yes, thank you again. Yeah, that was really cool that she came on. All right, everybody. Until next time, be well. Take care. Johngy sucks.